Bob with Bob's Leatherworks in Raleigh, North Carolina, and today I'm going to do a video on a grill I just bought at Home Depot, which I'm going to suggest that you get, only because I believe it's been discontinued, and its $99 price, which was a pretty good price, is now at $79. And I spent last evening putting it together, and one of the main reasons I got it was that I want to do I want to tabletop smoke chickens and meat in this grill rather than use this Brinkmann, which I picked up used, but I'm having a lot of trouble, or was having a lot of trouble, keeping its temperature up, and I would go through an awful lot of wood chips and wood chunks to keep its temperature up. I was even burning pieces of 2x4s trying to keep the temperature up, and the times were just too long and the chickens were getting too black, and so I decided to put this thing on Craigslist and give it away for free. So I've got charcoal starting again because I'm going to season the grill grates, which are cast iron. There are 3 of them sitting on top of one another, with some of this cooking spray. And one of the things I've done, or will be doing in the future to help with cleanup, is to line this charcoal tray with a piece of aluminum foil. Hopefully that'll keep the grease runoff down to a minimum as well. This one is like a park grill, where you can lift up the charcoal holding grate to 3 different levels on the clips that are on the outer sides of the grill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into pause, and once this charcoal gets going, we'll put it in here on the right side of the grill, and I'll be testing the temp gauge that's up on the top of the barrel. And while that's in progress, I'll come back. But just to show you how these grills look brand new, without all of the dirt that gets on them, the grease that gets on them after they've been used for a while. So there it is. Very convenient looking grill too, for being, it's got a big wide warming tray on it. There's a smokestack up on the top, which you can see. You get up on top here, you can see how we're going to be controlling smoke going through it from the right side across and out the chimney underneath. Really nice looking grill. I've got a chicken I'm going to cook in it, and we'll come back. There's the cat food. As soon as I get the chickens going, the cats will show up out of the woods in the back. I have a lot of feral cats that live around here, and many of them are tame to me. So that's it for now. I'll be back later. Okay, we are back. I have sprayed down the 3 grates that go across. They are cast iron, and I put this charcoal over here on the right hand side, and I haven't yet closed the lid. A couple of things about this grill before I do close the lid is that you get a pretty nice hook to pick up the grills with. This front shelf here is an up and a downer, so it's on shoulder screws. So as I pick it up, you can lay it down. Alright. Storage rack underneath, of course. So here, let's put this back up again. Just hook it up on there. Doing it with one hand, of course. Doesn't want to go with one hand. Let's try it this way. There we go. Yeah, we got it up with one hand. Alright, so now I'm going to close the lid on here and see how the temp gauge reacts. I'm going to keep this closed for now, just to build up some heat and see what that charcoal will do without any wood on it. It's climbing right now. We bounce in there and get some. This is already doing what I wanted it to do. I don't even have any food in here or any wood chunks, and with a small amount of charcoal, she's already running up to 225 and up. I even have the vent closed on the side, which is great. See, over here, I have the vent closed. So, no food in it, just a starter full of charcoal. Okay. Climbing up to 275. Right there. Alright, so we'll be back later. Let this fire burn out as the grill tops get seasoned. And I just gave away that Whitman smoker on my lawnmower guy. Hey, look at this guy. There's my lawnmower guy. Hey, there it is. Alright. So, be back later to show you cooking the chicken on this thing for the first time. Adios. Alright. We have got some smoke coming out of it now because I put in some mesquite chips, which I did not soak. And right now, this grill is running at around 360. You get nice and close so you can see it. There it is. Let me lift the lid. And on top of that, I've got the vent open about a third. So, even though it is leaking smoke, which is one of the reasons why I did this test fire, I don't think it's necessary to have to go and put any RTV or any insulations anywhere. And you can see I have a small fire right up against the vent opening, and now that the chips are down, they're smoking. I did not moisten them, I just put them right on top of the coals. So this is going to be a very efficient grill. I'm not going to have to use a lot of charcoal to cook something over here on the two grates on the left side. And this grill lifter, very, very convenient. You get it right in here in the middle of this, and it just picks them right up. It picks it right up nice and easy. So there it is. Oh, by the way, I did put a older no-stick baking pan up here with some water in it, which can go anywhere in the grill really, but I put it up there on a warming shelf. So now you can see it's a very fuel efficient, high temp, large surface grill that I got at Home Depot for $79. And this is April 29th, 2013. I'll put that date on the title when I finally get around to posting this up on YouTube. So there you go. Now I'll be back later this afternoon in about 2 or 3 hours, and I'll be putting a a chicken on the grill, which I'm going to cut open and flatten out. And then maybe we'll have some cats in the pictures too, when they come by after they smell it in the woods. So that's it for now. And I will see you later. Okay, we are back, and now we are going to start cooking a chicken. I have added charcoal to the drying fire that I set earlier, and I haven't opened the grill up yet after prepping the chicken. And right now it's sitting at 275 degrees, more or less. And I have, again, a pretty small fire in here, and I have the vent wide open, as you can see, so the charcoal would catch. And I have the top vent open about halfway. So I'm going to be closing that up after I get the chicken on here. Now, just to give you an idea of how I do things, what's in here is a halved chicken, and I'm going to cook the back too. That's what I give to the cats. And in here is some canola oil, some chopped up minced garlic that comes in the oil in the jar, and I've got rosemary, garlic, and some oregano, and some imitation salt. Don't use any more real salt, trying to keep my blood pressure down and overcome some type 2 diabetes. So that's what's in here. I chopped up all of the gizzards and all the other junk that comes inside the chicken, and I saved the liver, and I got some butter and garlic in this piece of foil. And here comes one of my cats, and if you can hear, and there he is. This is a big male, black male, that lives in the woods and is tame to me. Alright, so now I'm going to open up the grill, show you what's going on in here. I have that small baking pan with water in it that's steaming off. This one is going to catch the drippings from the chicken. I've got that full of water too. And then I'm going to put some mesquite on top of the charcoals, which are right in the middle of their prime right now. So hang in there until I set this all up, and then I'll come back. Be right back. Okay, everything is on the grill now. I put that up on top just so it'll cook nice and slower and easier and not burn up. That's that piece of liver up in there with the butter and some garlic. Added some mesquite wood chips. They are not soaked in water. And here's what's left of my spice concoction. Canola oil, garlic, rosemary, garlic, paprika, and some salt. And here is my broken up chicken. The back is right there in the back, as you can see it. And I nested these two guys together. So now we're going to give it an hour. And that fire will go down. And I'm going to close this vent up to just a slit. This guy over here, also I've got that down a bit. Okay, and let's check on our temperature. Is climbing very fast in this grill, which I like a lot. And it's approaching 300. And between those two sources of water, steam, I'm expecting that's going to stay right here. 275, 285, almost up to 300. And I've got this to do a little basting. So let's let her smoke. I'm going to put an hour on the timer, and I'll be back in an hour. See you then. Okay, here we are at about an hour and a half, actually, maybe 2. I forgot to set the timer. But I just used what was left of the spices to baste the chicken. I'm not going to turn it over. You can see it's dripping away. When I came up to the grill, it was at 275 before I opened the lid. So it's been holding its own. And just exposed the fire and knocked off some of the ash. And I'm going to add a few more chunks of wood. It's not sizzling yet, so I'm not going to check it for temperature. And hang on a half a second, I'm going to put this into pause. Alright, I just added a few more pieces of wood, and I think I'm going to take this liver off and eat it as a little snack. Looks pretty good. And the smoke is starting to rise off the new pieces of wood. So, alright, back into pause. Alright, we got the grill back on. Flames are coming up on the new chunks of wood I put on. And I had to add some water. As I was getting ready to close the cover, I realized that this was down a couple of tablespoons full. I just filled back up this baking pan full of water. So now we basted it, and we're going to lower the lid again, and we're going to watch the temp go back up just to see what we get. Alright, she's rising up through 200. Up to 250. I have no doubt it'll go almost all the way up to 300. So we're going to go back into pause, and I'll be back in about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, and then I'll check it again. Later. Okay, we are back, getting near the end. Now what I want to show you is, I just slipped this thermometer into the smaller of the two pieces, meaning that when I cut the chicken in half, a larger piece of the breast and the bone and whatnot was on one and not on the other. So this is the smaller piece, and it is registering right now about 175, almost 180. So I'm going to take it off. So hang on a sec. Okay. Now this is the larger, heavier piece, and it is registering right around 160, and it was on the far side, which is a mistake I made and I won't repeat in the future, and it took a while to catch up. I had switched them, didn't record it when I did it, but now that we are here, get my finger up to the zoomer. There we go. Now you can see it's right at 160. And I wanted to get a little hotter, so I took the other two pieces off. Whoa, wrong way. There we go. Took the other two pieces off. I'm not worried about the back because I'm going to give it to the cats, and besides it looks like it's very done anyway. So back over here. And I'm going to close her up again for about 15 or 20 minutes. And since most of the juice is probably out of it already, I'm going to let it sit on here for about 10 minutes. The charcoal and wood is at the very bottom setting on the grill. And that's it for now. So hang in there. I'll be back when I take this off. Alright, I'm back for the wrap-up on this. Something I should have done earlier that I didn't think of. But this is a CHARBROIL model 625, and also the number 13301565 on this thing. And I picked up the Spanish one. Hang on a second. Alright, so here we go with the English version. They put both of them in the box and I grabbed the wrong one. So CHARBROIL charcoal grill model 625, and a product guide model 13301565. And the assembly instructions in here are pretty good. And one thing you will need, you will need a helper. I put it together by myself and had some trouble, or I don't know, awkwardness and difficulty getting the top onto the bottom. But I managed to do it. So now I have isolated the last large piece. Here we go. And I moved over the dying coals. And we have got 170. So that ought to do it. Still juicy. Squeeze a little bit of juice out of it. If you like your chicken drier, you want to take it up to maybe 190, even 200 on a grill. Oven temperature is 200. Up here from the oven thermometer I put in it. So that takes care of that. Alright, everything's done. Let me get this out of the way. Hang on a second. Alright, so we are now officially done, and I learned a couple of things about this grill. Much easier to use than that Brinkman I had before. And next time we will build a larger fire across here so that we can lower our cooking time. But good grill. Nice and big. I like it. And that's it. So from Raleigh, North Carolina, have a good night. Bye-bye.